More testimony today in the federal death penalty trial of the admitted Charleston church shooter. Today, jurors learned more about how Dylan Roof got a hold of the gun that he used to kill 9 people inside a Bible study at Emmanuel AME last June. News 2's Carolyn Murray has been in court all day, and she joins us now live in downtown Charleston with more. Carolyn.
Good evening, Libba. Another day of looking at the direct steps the government says admitted Charleston church shooter Dylan Roof took before opening fire at the people who were in Bible study at Emmanuel AME Church June 17, 2015. In the video that we saw today in the courtroom, we could see Dylan Roof appearing to look at a case holding weapons. They apparently held Glocks, according to the man who owned that gun store in Columbia, a powerful weapon often used by police officers. It's very important to note here that the gun form that Dylan Roof filled out required that he indicate information such as his mental health, drug use, and whether he'd actually been convicted of a crime. We know now that Dylan Roof had been convicted of drug possession and should not have been allowed to purchase a weapon. The defense pointed out that, in fact, Dylan Roof's ability to purchase a weapon was, in fact, a failure of the state system. News 2's Ashley Yost was in the courtroom all day, and Ashley, we also heard testimony today from an FBI agent who had access to a computer that allowed him to take a look at some of Dylan Roof's writing. We heard through his reading that Dylan Roof talked about a separation of the races, and that in fact he said that his life was worth his beliefs.
And Carolyn said things like segregation wasn't bad, made reference to that numerous times through that document. And the federal government at the start of this said that they thought that they would wrap up after 7 or 8 days. That would be the middle of this week. But I did hear the prosecutor tell a witness today that, we're not going to get to you. So, Carolyn, today's witnesses, just a lot of legal explanation, very specific details, each item found in his car. So while we expect this to wrap up sometime this week, it might be as far out as Friday. And I want you guys to listen to the 3 main pieces of evidence talked about in court here today. The 3 main topics of evidence talked about today: Dylan Roof's car, his gun, and the documents he left behind explaining why he did what he did. First on the stand today was former SLED agent Brittany Burke. She was responsible for processing Dylan Roof's car. We went through the items they found in it. Some things normal, a towel, a box of Sprite. Other things not. Empty packages of bullets and multiple lists. One list containing 5 to 6 churches. The church at the top of the list, Emmanuel AME. The second, Morris Brown AME. All of the churches on the piece of paper, African American churches in Charleston. We also saw a video of Dylan Roof walking into a gun shop in Columbia, South Carolina. In the video, you can see him checking out a case of Glocks. We heard about the paperwork Dylan Roof filed in order to get that gun, and how he should not have been able to purchase it because he had a previous drug charge. And finally on the stand, the FBI agents who were responsible for going through Dylan Roof's computer. We saw a slideshow of all the pictures it seemed that Dylan Roof took of himself burning American flags, standing next to Confederate ones, and also the manifesto he wrote explaining why he did what he did.